Anyway, it's also coming out in a PlayStation 3 exclusive bundle.
Mhm.
Although Japan pwns us because we're getting, what, 3 bundles? Or a lot more stuff than we are.
Oh, of course. I mean, because
Nice.
Metal Gear Solid is, I mean, it's hugely popular in the U.S., but it's just insanely popular over in Japan.
Exactly, but it has been announced that if you pre-order Metal Gear Solid 4, you will wind up getting, among other things, Metal Gear 2.0 DVD disc with extras, and you'll also be automatically invited to the Metal Gear Online Beta, which will be starting up sometime in April or May.
Another Sony/PlayStation news, big announcement this week, probably the biggest news of the week. Phil Harrison, no longer working for Sony.
Now he's no longer working for him. The big brass, the voice of Sony, are SCEA, not with him anymore.
No, so there's a lot of rumors going around exactly where he's going to go, if he's going to stay in the industry or if he's retired for good. A lot of rumors going around that he's looking into Atari or looking into him. Maybe he can save that company from dying, but I don't really know what he can do for him at this point.
The biggest rumor going around is if he left Sony to go to Atari, there's going to be lots of dollar signs attached to his name because there's just no reason to go to a company that sucks. They barely held on to their Dragon Ball Z license, which we all were hoping they'd lose because they can't make a good Dragon Ball Z game to save their life. It's the only thing they own that makes money anymore. But if Phil Harrison goes there, maybe he can turn him around. Maybe he'll surprise everyone.
Maybe. We'll see. Other new releases for PlayStation 2 this week. Ratchet & Clank Size Matters. This was originally a PSP game, correct? Yeah. So that's coming out March 11th. And also God of War Chains of Olympus is out. And in the back of the instruction manual for the game, it actually advertises God of War 3.
God of War 3, which is advertised nationally for the PlayStation 3. But talking a little bit about God of War Chains of Olympus, it's supposedly the best looking game available for the PlayStation Portable right now, and it is awesome. It takes just about everything that was done on God of War 2 on the PlayStation 2, makes it portable, even though they're missing one analog stick and a couple of buttons. The controls are quite well done, and perhaps handle even better than you might have thought on the PlayStation 2. There is one downside. The only huge boss battle is at the very beginning of the game against the Basilisk. If you played the demo of it already, you've already fought that battle. So, it's the same linear quest, still great, just not as many giant 100 times your size boss battle fights as God of War 2.
Yeah. So, pretty solid release. What else we got? Rock Band DLC this week. Grateful Dead pack. There's actually 6 songs going to be released this week. I couldn't really name you. I couldn't even.
Sorry, I was going
peace sign.
iffy.
But I honestly couldn't even name you a Grateful Dead song. Definitely not from my time. Anyway,
I can name you a Grateful Dead ice cream.
Oh, which one's that? Fish food?
Cherry Garcia.
That's right.
Fish food?
They're hippies. What do you want?
They're different hippies.
Yeah.
Wow, you clown.
Whatever. In any case, songs gonna be released: China Cat, Sunflower, Casey Jones, Sugar Magnolia, Truckin', Franklin's Tower, and I Need a Miracle.
God. In other news, Guitar Hero 3 also has downloadable content this week. Wow, I'm sorry. Fish food.
What do you want?
They had a No Doubt pack. Everyone would expect the 3 songs available to be Don't Speak, Spider Webs, and I'm Just a Girl. Except you'd only be 33% right if you guessed that. Don't Speak is available, but unfortunately the other 2 songs are Sunday Morning and Excuse Me, Mister. Depends on what you like. You know, punk rock with Gwen Stefani is No Doubt, Guitar Hero 3. Rock band, all Grateful Dead, all hippies. Just whatever you do, don't get smoking that roach when your parents get home. Because we know you live in your parents' basement.
Oh, man. Okay. Yep, it's definitely slow week. Moving on, a little PC news.
Oh, do you mind if I take this one?
You can take this one because you know more
Sweet.
about it than I do.
Exactly. The biggest news this week, now that the month of February is over, the sales totals for February have come in for the PC industry. Kind of surprising. A studio called Ironclad Games. They're an independent developer who just released their game Sins of the Solar Empire. It's a 4X real-time strategy game set in space. Has sold 100,000 copies in its first month. It's the #1 game in America for February, or North America for February. Such hosts as Morgan Webb and the guys Tycho and Gabe from Penny Arcade laud this game as one of their favorites. It's very immersive. It is very micromanaging as well. So if you're not into RTS games, especially the heavily number crunching arcade games, it's not your style, but it is very, very well done, and they do thoroughly love it. They play it quite consistently, even though it's been out for a month. And what can we say? But it's the little game that could on the PC.
Yeah, this is from a fairly smaller developing company,
Mm-hmm.
so 100,000 copies in the first month, pretty big deal for them.
Exactly, they're popping that bottle of 2003 wine right now. What?
Which they picked up from their local gas station.
It was a Pinot.
Other PC news this week, Cliffy B made some questionable comments that have kind of upset some of the PC fanboys. He's saying the PC industry is in array. PC gaming industry, to be specific.
Isn't it?
Disarray. Yeah, it's been a long week. In any case, this has upset a lot of people. I can't really speak much on it. To a degree, I sort of agree with them. I mean, it just doesn't seem like PC gaming is what it used to be.
Well, to be fair, Cliff Bleszinski is a lead game designer at Epic Games. He was lead designer on Gears of War. I gotta admit, it might be one thing to say that, but it's about your games, about how you are on a particular platform. It's another thing to say that the entire industry is in disarray. One could look and say that Epic Games are nowhere near where they were when they were coming out in 2004 or even earlier when UT 2004 came out. Because now we have Unreal Tournament 3, we've got Gears of War. They've had bugs, they've had problems with their games. They really tend not to listen to the feedback from their customers. So perhaps what Cliffy B should have said is that Epic Games for the PC platform are in disarray. Not that the PC platform is in disarray. Look at Valve. Team Fortress 2 just got updated today. Gamers love that game. We're big fans of it, even though we have it on the orange box for 360, not for the PC. Our PCs can't handle it. What do you want?
And mine can. Speak for yourself.
Crap. So perhaps Cliffy B, you just gotta look at things less narrow and step back and look at it from a wider field of view. Moving on, Apple is going to be showing their iPhone software roadmap on March 6th. Hopefully they'll be announcing their SDK for the iPhone, which will let companies develop independent applications. What do you think, Andrew?
I'm excited for it. I'm really hoping Apple just gives the developers a lot of freedom. I really hope they don't restrict them. I generally am not a huge fan of Apple, but I gotta say they made an awesome job with this phone. I absolutely love it. One of the best purchases I've made in years. So I'm very, very excited to see what applications come out of Google or Yahoo or whoever. So we'll see. I mean, the pricing is another worry for me. I don't really want to be paying too much for it, but it's a very cool phone. A lot of good applications. Hackers have come up with. We saw recently some music applications. There was a piano application, a guitar application. So lots of really just cool ways to use the touchscreen, and hopefully some companies come up with some really good ideas.
I have to admit, though, I did hear a rumor that the Apple SDK for the iPhone won't allow developers of these applications access to the port on the bottom.
I didn't read that.
It's a rumor. I don't have any factual basis for it, but well, when do I ever? But I heard that they wouldn't be able to access that.
Well, I don't know. I think they can still do a lot of cool things with it.
Well, obviously. I mean, I can do a lot of cool things with a toothpick, a rubber band, and some sticky tape, but...
Such as?
Create a grenade.
Really? That'll be next week's episode. We'll show you how to do that.
Next week of Tony MacGyver. I'll grow the mullet out, too.
Actually, speaking of Apple, it was announced this week that iTunes is now the second largest... what's the word? I'm blanking here. Help me out here.
Store that sells music?
Yeah, seller of music. I don't know what.
Sorry, I was
right behind Walmart for number one. Honestly, who buys music from Walmart?
I didn't know. I was trying to see how long he was going to blank out for.
It was going to be too long.
I know. I had to get this moving. Best Buy is a very close number 3 to Apple, however. Mm-hmm. But Walmart's crushing everyone. Mm-hmm. I think that's because everyone goes to Walmart, and when you get one family with 35 kids, you're bound to buy a lot of music.
I guess so. I just don't know a single person who's bought a CD from Walmart.
Neither can I, especially because they don't sell CDs with explicit lyrics.
Yep. In any case, apparently there is something to this whole downloading music thing. So, well done, Apple.